I'm going to show you how to change the rotors, your rotors and your brake pads on a 2006 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's a little cold out, so let's do this. You're going to need a 14mm wrench, and there's 2 bolts on the back of your brake caliper that you have to take off. That takes off the brake caliper, or you can take the 2 bolts off the brake caliper bracket, and that'll separate everything, and then you just pull your rotor off and replace it with your new one. This one's a little worn out. I just changed the brake pads, but I'm going to change the brake pads again because I'm putting a brand new rotor on it. So let's do this. What I like to do is I like to take these 2 bolts out that are holding up the brake caliper, and then I take off the cage, which has 2 bolts, one right here and one down at the bottom. So the first bolt is on the top here on the brake caliper, and there's another one on the bottom. It's a 14mm. I use a 14mm socket. I'm undoing them with my hands because I've already I loosened them up already. So now that those are loose, all I got to do is pry off my brake caliper from the brakes, which is kind of hard to do with one hand. So let me put you off to the side. Now you can let your brake caliper just kind of hang there. It's not going to hurt anything. Your brake caliper hanging there is not going to hurt anything as long as you don't pull on your lines or anything like that. Next thing you're going to take off is the bracket that holds on the brake caliper, and the bolt for that is located right here and one straight at the bottom. I've already loosened those, so I'm going to take those off by hand. Trying not to be in your way so you can see what's going on, which it's really not too exciting if you've ever changed brakes or rotors on any other vehicle. See? It's a nice little size bolt. It's about a 5/8 bolt. For this whole job, socket wrench works perfect. I use a 3/8 drive. No pneumatic tools, just all done by hand. Actually, you know what? I don't even have to change the brake pads. They look pretty good. which they are brand new. They're less than a week old. That's the bracket. Holds the brake caliper. You just put that off to the side. Your rotor, you can just kind of rock that sucker and comes right off. Let me go get the new ones. I get all my parts from rockauto.com. No, it's not an endorsement. I'm not getting paid to say anything, but to me personally, Rock Auto is the best place to buy whatever auto parts that you need. rockauto.com. Just grab the new rotor, put it on, then you put everything back on in the opposite order that you took it off. First we put on the caliper support bracket. Alright. Now that those are on, we'll go ahead and change the brake pads. I'm not going to put the old brake pads on, even though they're less than a week old. We'll go ahead and open up some new ones. See how pretty those are? Alright, now that you have both brake pads together, you can put on your brake caliper. Now, what I do when I'm putting on new brake pads, I take the cap off my master cylinder, which it's easy to find your master cylinder. It's easy to find the master cylinder. All you have to do is look for all the brake lines. Wherever all the brake lines go in to the vehicle, and they're always hard metal lines, the closest reservoir 99% of the time is going to be your brake fluid reservoir or your master cylinder reservoir. Just take off the cap when you're going to do this next step. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my I'm going to take my brake caliper and I'm going to compress my brake caliper with a C-clamp. C-clamp is a real simple piece of equipment. I take the C-clamp, put it on the inside of the brake caliper, and just compress. Make sure you don't knock your brake pads back out. Alright. Now that you got your brake caliper back on, go ahead and grab those 2 screws that you took off, 2 bolts that you took off, line up your holes, finger tight that jobber. If I can line up my holes. Now, we're done. All you have to do now is put your tire back on, tighten up your lugs, hand tight, drop the vehicle off the jack, tighten up your lugs in a star pattern, and then you're good to go. Brand new rotors, brand new brake pads.